Transformers Energon Scout Class Offshoot is our toy of the day. Pretty interesting. It's a repaint of Signal Flare. Another Scout, it's the same toy, just different colors. I actually prefer the colors on Offshoot here. Offshoot is a half-track, meaning he has treads in the back and wheels in the front. He has 4 wheels, well, 6 which are represented, technically 4 and then treads if you want to be realistic, but he actually has 6 little plastic wheels, 2 of which represents the movements for the treads. So no real moving treads, just these molded in ones, which they have to be molded in due to the transformation. Now then, there is a nice gimmick in this mode before we get to what value you get for this toy in terms of accessories. When you move the turret up and down for this rather cool mass device like laser cannon, it does look a lot like the mass device with this cylinder up here, but you can see the red tinted windows down there, and there are headlights painted in orange. So cool, lots of details all around. And the gimmick, like I was trying to say, you tilt this up, you tilt it down, turn it left or right, and it will move a full 360 degrees, but I'm not going to do that because as you're doing that, gears are slowly, it's really hard to tell in the video, but gears are slowly moving the barrel around in a circle, either clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on how you turn it. That's awesome enough that you have a laser cannon and some neat gears in there. You get a few accessories. One, you get an Energon star, which can just stick right here over the silver Autobot symbol that most Energon figures have. And you can also put all these parts onto other figures in the line, which is basically essentially Hasbro trying to say buy the Scouts because your Deluxes and Ultras, well, Megas at the time, Deluxes and Megas don't have enough weapons included, so you need to buy Scouts, buy more Scouts. You can configure these weapons in different ways. In the vehicle mode, you could put weapons being this round thing that has a rotation on it, and these two smaller triangular things, and with molded detailing all over them. They're pretty much identical, except one has a peg and one does not have a peg, and one has a Minicon port on it. So you really have to examine this in person, but there are different ways that this works. And you plug the unport end onto the other side because there are pegs and reverse pegs there. So now you have both of the laser cannons supporting the main barrel, and you can also pop the round cylinder that spins onto the end. Cool, looks even more like the mass device. I like the spinning. It's got some details in here suggesting there was more laser action going on. Perhaps some have said that it looks like a communications dish, which would kind of make sense for a Scout to be a communications expert. It just makes sense in the name. There's another way you can configure these, which I like better if you want to go for the communications angle. You can pop them on wide, and now you've really got a whole communications assembly. Neat. I like it. Makes the whole Scout seem a lot bigger in the and let's get to the transformation. You have to unfold the headlights. Really cool transformation, really big transformation as well, because it's a lot like Lockdown, but except it folds back in on itself. Really animated line, except it folds back in, whereas Lockdown just unfolds. And anyway, after you've got the tread sections flip down to become legs, you've got this huge thing up here. Flip that onto the end to become the arm, and make sure you have the peg end facing forward and click it. Oh, that's not right. Make sure you have your robot head facing forward, and click that down. It's a detailed enough robot head. It was also repainted one more time as Target exclusive signal flare for the movie line. So let's get to articulation. You have the cannon arm, which still has its gimmick, hasn't lost that ability to move the barrel while you move the gun around. And it moves out to the side a bit, and it will move all the way around however you need it. Really great. The legs provide a good dynamic of action poses. I'm not really disappointed at all with the poses you get from it, other than the fact that feet don't rotate, and having some feet for balance would help. But overall, I like how bulky it is, and yeah, there you go. You can extend the leg out in a funny way if you really need the balance with your high intensity action poses. It is not that bad at all. And this arm goes up on a ball joint and has just a no joint in the arm, in the forearm. Just on the upper arm has a bolt included, and they can be configured in robot mode in many more ways than in the previous mode. I personally like to turn these two pieces into their shield formation and just peg that onto the side. Okay, let me pan the camera up a bit. Okay, so you got that. Nice shield and laser technique, kind of a guard. Let's see what else. You can still make the communications assembly crossbow laser now. The main super mode that you get from these weapons, Hot Rod from the Transformers movie, in that you get a spinning buzzsaw with these. I think you're looking at them, yeah. On the opposite side of the laser guns, you get a molded in detail for a buzzsaw, and it spins to be a buzzsaw. You can put that in you can peg that into his regular hand, but it's really intended. Come on, peg. There you go. You can peg it into his regular hand, so he's got some super powerful weaponry. I've seen people, you can, like this, dual wielding some sort of extra armor handguns or something, because they have molded in pistol detail. You know, it's all about play value with this little basic, and I wanted to bring it up today, since a lot of people seem to be overlooking the scout class in light of the activator class taking over the place. And we are getting scouts again with Revenge of the Fallen, and I wanted to bring this to the light. We go ahead and pick up Offshoot Signal Flare or Movie Signal Flare, the Target exclusive. Pop Culture Hero signing out. Buy it if you're into scouts. Buy it if you're into small toys.